No Nonsense Know-How here, and today a real quick video on how to change the oil and filter on a BMW F800GS. This happens to be a 2009 model. First step, if your bike's real caked in mud, I recommend hosing or pressure washing it off. Get that area that we're going to be working on nice and clean. And then go ahead and get your bike up on the center stand. I'm now going to get the skid plate out of my way. Depending on your year model, you might not have to remove this and it might have different fasteners, but mine's held on with 4 13mm nuts, and then inside of here a T45 Torx bolt that I'll show you in a second. That T45 Torx goes through this bracket on the engine and through this bracket here that's bolted on. If you tried taking these off, they do have a nut on the other side, so it's much more convenient to just remove this one bolt. Remove your oil drain plug. This one's got a 24mm on it. Some guys do like to warm the engine up first to get the oil nice and hot so it pours out quick. And now this drain plug on mine, I can't tell you if this is 100% factory or not, but it does have a magnet built into it, so you'll want to clean that off. And then it's also a good idea to replace this copper crush washer. However, I've been changing oil my entire life, and honestly, just clean this off, reuse it if it's in good shape. You do not have to replace this unless you're extremely anal on perfection. Then go ahead and get yourself a new one. We'll leave that drain in and now get our oil filter off. You can use oil filter pliers like this, a appropriately sized cup, or a spanner filter wrench like this. I'm going to just try using these pliers here. I'm using the high flow Filtro filter. Been using these my entire life without a problem. Using the factory OEM one is not a bad idea though. You can see this comes pre-lubricated on there already. If your filter's not pre-lubricated, make sure to dab some motor oil and wipe that around. You can then pre-fill this if you want to with new motor oil, but since this is on the side, I could see that getting pretty messy. Now I'm going to take a paper towel, make sure that area is nice and clean and that no dirt or crud got in there. Take your oil filter, thread it on, and the torque recommended for this is 11 Newton meters, but I usually just snug it down till the gasket goes, and then it's about 3/4 turn past that, or usually about as tight as you can go with your hand, and that's going to be good. Make sure your drain plug area is clean. Got the plug cleaned off. New crush washer if you opted to do that. Thread that down and torque it. The factory spec for this is 40 Newton meters, or the German method of Guten Tight. Now put your skid plate back on. Pop the fill plug dipstick tube out. Drop a clean funnel in and fill her up with oil. Book calls for 2.9 liters. I got this 4-liter 15W50 liquid moly made in Germany. I've heard good things about it. You could also use something like Motul, a little bit more expensive. As long as you use a full synthetic motorcycle rated oil, you're going to be all right. This does have wet clutch in it, so make sure to use a motorcycle rated oil and fill her up. That should be about 3 quarts, so I'll put my dipstick back in and start her up. You'll want to let that run for at least 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Inspect for any leaks around the oil filter gasket and shut her down and let the oil settle for a minute. After the oil levels had a chance to settle, let's check this level again. Might have to add a little bit, or maybe hopefully not to take any out. Wipe off your gauge here. You can see minimum, maximum at the top line. Drop this in to the thread's contact, but don't screw it in. And bring it back out. You can see we are right at the middle on mine. I don't know how well you can see that. So I'll add a little bit and call it a day to bring that up to level. There we go. That looks much better. Just make sure you're on level ground when you're doing this. Make sure to properly dispose of your motor oil. In my case, I have a waste oil burner I'll pour it into. So I have heat next winter. You might be wondering if you can reset the service light on here. And from what I understand, you need special software to do that. So what I do is just write down the miles and then change it every 6,000 miles, or if you're really harsh on it, maybe every 4,000 or 5,000. Yeah, that is going to wrap the video up. That is how you change the oil and filter on an F800GS 2009 model. If this video helped you out, consider giving it a thumbs up, commenting, or subscribing to my channel. And make sure to check down below for those links for everything I used in the video. So, till next time, this is Chris Brown here. No Nonsense, No How. And I'll see you in the next one, hopefully.